The next step, determine who your metrics are intended to inform and influence. You are well aware of what will happen if your company fails to connect with the needs of its customers. I can't overemphasize the importance of understanding the diversity of perceptions about risk and how each of your constituents view your role in its management. Metrics are central to our ability to influence and engage our customers in their role in corporate security and brand protection. They enable a coherent set of messages focused on a targeted audience. Each of the audiences you see here has a unique agenda and set of needs, a hot button, if you will. Some need to see the broader view with a clear assessment of alternatives. Others require the 10-minute laser approach to the problem and best solution. You must know your customer and what motivates them to action. Your message has to be tailored to influence, to enable them to see why your message deserves their acceptance and buy-in. Metrics should be presented as enabling tools rather than criticisms whenever possible. Positive action is more likely if the audience feels he or she is being given an opportunity rather than a sharp stick in the eye. You want a partnership in results more than a notch on the gun. Now let's look at the next slide to address that security manager who said he didn't have any data. Remember that quote, "I don't have any data"? Well, I think you have a staggering amount of data in the files associated with your service portfolio. You've invested financial, personnel, and technology resources into understanding, preventing, and responding to the many risks on your watch and the services you provide to your customers. Let's look at the business drivers and objectives you outlined in step 1, and then consider the types of data you might need in order to create some meaningful metrics that help meet those objectives. Think about the needs and hot buttons of your many constituents seen in step 2. How have your programs resulted in an improved state of risk management for them? What was learned that should modify business process and thereby eliminate future risk? How can your unique knowledge and perspective more directly enable alignment of security programs to the business strategy and the needs of your internal customers? Actionable metrics require analysis, draw conclusions, and have to tell a story. The results they demonstrate provide direction for decisions. They can affirm actions taken or provide clarity for next steps. Non-actionable metrics, on the other hand, simply count things and have little value for influencing or finding causes of risk. The file cabinet you see here represents the various categories of metrics with an emphasis on making them actionable. Develop the contents of each of these drawers based on your constituents' needs, as well as a need to maintain a library of measures consistent with the security organization's needs. We've just seen the multiple drawers that contain the data we need for our metrics. But as we look at incidents and the reports generated as a result, it's important to visualize how we get from the count or trend to a metric or set of metrics that both inform and show value. This chart lays out the response landscape for a particularly disturbing workplace violence trend. Incident postmortems have identified multiple root causes and systemic vulnerabilities that are contributing to these cases. We see 4 here. Note the arrows indicating the linkage from root cause to mitigating actions. Due to the nature of the risk and the obvious links to the solutions, a joint security HR team has worked to analyze each of the contributing causes and develop specific plans to mitigate them. This is centered around addressing flawed relationships and flawed handoffs combined with poorly trained and prepared supervisors in the businesses. Each of these mitigating actions has an embedded performance measure. Improved levels of reporting can be measured. Incident trends and their causes can be measured. Case follow-up provides data on the success of intervention techniques. Data on employee opinions on safety can be gathered. HR notification of pending actions can be measured case by case. The result is a story about how a risky trend has been met rather than a non-starter like the monthly count of workplace violence cases.